Chuck Todd, or as I like to call him, Human Oatmeal. This man is one of the most boring people on the planet. I think him and Wolf Blitzer have a competition every year to see who is more boring. He gets into a back and forth here with Ron Johnson. Now, as much as I despise Chuck Todd, Ron Johnson is like one of the worst senators in the country. And that's saying a lot because there's very few good senators, right? Like you can count them on one hand for sure. So, but this guy he's like an Ayn Rand devotee, like super duper libertarian. This guy was involved with January 6th and with remember the whole voter scheme, find me 11,000 votes. Apparently he was involved in that stuff. So he's just the worst of the worst. So Human Oatmeal here is going to grill him. And it's weird. This whole conversation was not about Hunter Biden, but it became about Hunter Biden, and they joust a little bit over that. Let's listen.
Senator, the truth.
Senator, do you have a crime that you think Hunter Biden committed? Because I've yet to see anybody explain it is not a crime to make money off your last name.
Look, this is the part of Washington, D.C. and corporate media that I think I despise the most. It's like the standard operating procedure of soft corruption and bribery, like the bribery that's out in the open and is technically legal because our campaign finance system is a joke. Like they poo-poo that and they think like, duh, this is just how it works. At the same time, he's doing the same thing with, making money off your last name being Biden. Sitting on a board of a Ukrainian energy company, making hundreds of thousands of dollars because your last name is Biden. It was clearly an attempt at pay-to-play, corruption, bribery. He's like, not a crime. It's not actually a crime. It's not technically illegal. Yeah, but ethically, morally, you take one look at it and you go, kind of sketchy. Probably should be illegal. I don't like that. But this is like the technicality bullshit they try to get you on. I just cursed. Video demonetized yet again. Support the show on Patreon, link below. But like, to Chuck Todd, it's like, this is just a random Tuesday in DC. Like, there's no problem here. You can make money off your last name. You could be a little nepotistic freak. You could produce nothing of value in your entire life and just coast off your last name. And what's the problem with that? Well, there's a lot wrong with that, Chuck. God, it's almost like before Ron Johnson even said a word. As of right now, Ron Johnson is winning the discussion to this point because Chuck Todd had to make that stupid point. Anyway, let's continue.
So, Chuck, you ought to read the Marco Polo report, where they detail all kinds of potential crimes. Senator Grass and I certainly
let me just stop you there. Potential. Potential is innuendo.
About $30,000.
That's why you do investigation.
I mean, Chuck, is it a crime to be soliciting and purchasing prostitution in potentially European sex trafficking operations? Is that a crime? Because Chuck Grass and I laid out about $30,000 paid by Hunter Biden to those types of individuals over December 2018, 2019, about $30,000. This is about the same time that President Biden offered to pay about $100,000 of Hunter Biden's bills.
Oh, okay. All right. Hold on. Let's slow it down here for a second. So, Hunter Biden, yeah, I think he's a criminal. He's committed a lot of crimes. He's also a sex addict and a drug addict. And any money that went from Joe Biden to Hunter Biden in the midst of one of his collapses was Joe Biden just being a loving father trying to help. Remember that voicemail that the right lost their crap over? Remember that? I didn't curse that time. Yeah, baby. I had to reel it in, but I did. Remember that voicemail? It's like, I love you more than anything, son. We're going to get you the help you need. Like, it was something really touching and heartfelt, and they played it like it was some sort of own of Biden to do that, to say that stuff, and it's unbelievable. So this example of a bunch of sketchy stuff going on sexually with Hunter, everybody knows that. And if the claim is, oh my God, you were using prostitution rings where they were actually like sex slaves or something, yeah, that's bad. Investigate that. Could be a crime. Do the investigation, find out what's true, lock him up if he needs to be locked up. I agree. But any money Joe Biden gave Hunter Biden at any point really is more him looking out for his son, who's a mess. So he's trying to drag Joe into this in this instance in a way that doesn't make sense. Like, that's not, you need a much clearer connection and much clearer evidence of a crime than, hey, this dad helped out his son. Anyway.
Again, that's just some information. I don't know exactly.
Here's what I don't get. All right, Senator.
It doesn't really look on the. It sounds sleazy, as you know.
I'll take it at your word that you're ethically bothered by Hunter Biden. I'm curious, though. You seem to have a pattern.
Are you not?
I seem to have a pattern. I'm a journalist. I have to deal in facts.
Are you not?
I deal in facts. It says, Senator, my question.
Okay, look, on that point, I would just say, yeah, I'm bothered. I'm bothered by any of the corruption stuff. Me personally, look, people have problems. People are a mess. If he's a sex addict, if he's a drug addict, he has my sympathy. He deserves rehab. He deserves help. He deserves therapy and all that stuff. So I'm not, that stuff, it's none of my business. None of your business either. The corruption stuff, yeah. Actual crimes, yeah. Right? So am I ethically bothered by that? Yes. And what I would say to Chuck Todd is, dude, as a journalist, you can and should say that it's okay. There's this weird, like, conventional wisdom mind virus, this disease of the brain, that neutrality journalism is the best kind of journalism. Now, what's the problem with neutrality? Neutrality is I'm just going to be down the middle every time. I'm going to call everything 50-50. Well, what about if it's not 50-50? What if it's like evolution versus creationism? Well, evolution is true. Creationism is false. You can't say, hey, maybe they both have a point there. That would be neutrality. Hey, they're both kind of right. No, that's not good. So you need to prioritize objectivity over neutrality. And in this instance, if I was Chuck Todd, I'd say, yeah, I am ethically bothered by it, as anybody is. But now this conversation takes an interesting turn.
To you is, I'm always worried. I have skepticism of both parties. I sit here with skepticism of a lot of people's work. And I'm curious, were you at all concerned? Your Senate Democrats want to investigate Jared Kushner's loan from the Qatari government when he was working in the government negotiating many things in the Middle East. Are you not concerned about that? And I say that because it seems to me if you're concerned about what Hunter Biden did, you should be equally outraged about what Jared Kushner did.
I'm concerned about getting the truth. I don't target individuals. I target the truth.
You're targeting.
What a hack. Holy cow, what a hack. Chuck Todd was down in this debate, in this discussion, and then he just zoomed into the lead with that moment. Bro, me? I don't target individuals. I just target the truth. You don't target individuals. You just went on for Hunter Biden ad nauseum ad infinitum. You went on and on about him. So you do target individuals. Now, you could say, hey, I target individuals with the truth, or to the best of my ability and my knowledge with the truth. Fair. But he asked you a very simple question. Are you also concerned about Jared Kushner? You have to say yes to that. Insta loss if you don't say yes to that. But he's a partisan hack, and he's a Trump sycophant, so he can't. Look, Hunter, like I told you, I got my concerns with Hunter. It's not the sex stuff or the drug stuff. It's more the actual corruption. Like, big difference there between those things. But the corruption stuff, yeah, you got my ear, bro. There's a big problem there, right? With Kushner, it's even worse. Now, how can I say that? Jared Kushner was in the White House. He was part of the Trump team. And as he was doing that, he was taking all this money from Israeli banks. Like they said, he was taking money from Qatar. By the way, that's a new one I didn't even know about. He has a $2 billion deal with Saudi Arabia. What did Saudi get in return for that money? Well, one of the things we know for sure is when Trump was president and they massacred Jamal Khashoggi and chopped him up into little bits and pieces, the Trump administration didn't even give him a slap on the wrist. The Trump administration looked the other way. Was it Jared Kushner behind the scenes? He was telling his dad, like, hey, man, go easy on him. Go easy on him, dog. I'm just saying. They got a lot of money. There are financial opportunities there for us if you just play it cool. So this is, Jared Kushner took $2 billion from Saudi Arabia for his financial firm. And you think nothing happened in return? By the way, Trump took hundreds of thousands of dollars through his D.C. hotel and then gave them a multi-billion-dollar weapons deal when he was president. Like, the whole Live Golf thing, Trump has made millions and millions of dollars off this new Live Golf Saudi tour. And, there's strings attached to that. There's strings attached to that. So now if Trump gets elected again, he's just going to, hey, Saudi, loot the U.S. Treasury. We don't care. Why? Because you paid me. You paid me off and my son off, my son-in-law off. And so get away with whatever, almost cursed again, get away with whatever the hell you want. So, yeah, I'm concerned about the corruption of Hunter Biden. I'm also massively concerned about the corruption of Jared Kushner because as a dollar figure, it's actually way worse from Jared Kushner. Trump, as he's running for president, a lot of people don't know this. There's a great article that came out recently. Trump is currently negotiating a deal with the government of Oman for them to give him money, millions of dollars. You're running for president. There's the emoluments clause of the Constitution. You can't do that. You can't make money from foreign governments as you're president of the United States. You're running for president of the United States. What are we talking about? He doesn't care about any of these laws. He's deeply corrupt. This is bribery. Straightforward. And what happens with Ron Johnson? Obsessed with Hunter, doesn't lay a glove on Jared Kushner. Total hack. Total hack.
Hunter Biden, multiple times on this show, Senator, you're targeting an individual.
Chuck, Chuck, part of the problem, and this is pretty obvious to anybody watching this, is you don't invite me on to interview me. You invite me on to argue with me. I'm just trying to lay out the facts that certainly Senator Grassley and I uncovered. They were suppressed. They were censored. They interfered in the 2020 election. Conservatives understand that. Unfortunately, liberals in the media don't. And that's part.
Okay, wait. Now all of a sudden we're on social media censorship. That has nothing to do with Hunter Biden, nothing to do with Jared Kushner, nothing to do with nepotism and pay to play and corruption and bribery. It has nothing to do with any of that. Now you pivot to social media censorship is a huge problem. Yeah, I agree. Back to the conversation we were having before. He dodged it. Why? Because he was checkmated. How? You got checkmated by Chuck Human Oatmeal Todd? You got checkmated by a guy whose family forgets his own name? You got checkmated by that guy? You got checkmated by a guy who's less entertaining and charismatic than watching paint dry? How do you let Chuck Todd checkmate you, bro? He was losing, and then he just came back and checkmated you. God, politics is so gross, man. Oh, it's so gross. It's the grossest thing ever. It's so gross. So you're going to have all these, show trials under the Republicans pretending they care about corruption when it's Hunter Biden. At some point, they'll probably do an investigation of his dick. But, again, if you told me, hey, let's do some bipartisan committee. We're going to look into the corruption of Jared Kushner and Hunter Biden. Oh, sign me right up, bro. Sign me up. But they're not in the game of truth. Ironically, you keep saying, I care about facts. I care about truth. No, you don't. No, you don't. Not even close. And again, saddest thing I've ever seen, to lose to Chuck Todd. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.